Imagine a fort that isn't just a monument, it is a living fort. Well, that is exactly what we're going to explore here today, because we are at the Golden Fort here in Jaisalmer, deep in the Rajasthan desert. Today we are going to go deep inside and discover why Jaisalmer Fort is unlike anywhere else on planet Earth. A street like this. Jaisalmer lies deep in the Thar Desert near the Pakistan border, and it was built here on purpose. It's a choke point of the Silk Road, and it was also built here to provide protection, but not only protection, it was built here to accumulate wealth. How? Well, let's look at that now. So this place was built in 1156 by a man named Rawal Jaisal, hence why it's called the Jaisalmer Fort. So we're up high, and that was a strategic decision to be able to defend the fort against local invaders, but it's also a place of safe passage, and it's a place of safe passage for those who were on the Silk Road with caravan camels taking goods to places like Persia and Egypt and beyond, and this is where they would stay. Now, they would have to pay a tax to be here, of course, so you would either drop off some of your goods or you would pay a fee, and that is how Jaisalmer became outrageously rich and ended up with carvings and buildings like this, which are pretty spectacular now. The Golden Fort was not just a fort for a fort's sake, it actually was a golden crown to the city below, and it represented Rajput power. Not only that, it had 99 bastions, and with this many bastions you could see why you would sleep well at night here, probably worth the entrance fee on the Silk Road. As we approach this from below, 4 monumental gates lead you into the fort, and these in turn lead you into a rabbit warren of tight streets. The width of the streets has been done on purpose, as has the height of the buildings. It's all meant to create passive ventilation. The whole city is meant to be like one big AC unit, and that is essential in a place where temperatures can reach up to 45 degrees centigrade. Very intricate designs. Made, but it's a beautiful little street. Again, you can see the detailing on the downside. Oh, somebody's shouting to their neighbour, and again, some beautiful little Jain and Hindu references. Before we come to the streets are quite tight, as you can see, and they're like that on purpose because it funnels air through, but they're also quite tall, which is to keep the area shaded. All clever architecture to keep you protected from the sun, protected from passers-by or invaders. Some really beautiful examples above me here. Absolutely stunning balconies that just lean over the top of you, and what they're saying is, look how wealthy I am. Really stunning. How beautiful is that? And the street in general. There's a newer element here. You can see how sharp the detailing is of the sandstone. And up here and here, just no water or erosion at all. Whereas if we go to this side, you can see how much wear and tear has taken place on these elements, and that's just because sandstone is soft. It will do that over hundreds of years. Kind of adds to the drama. It almost makes it Gaudi-esque, almost like it's melting away or melting. Here you can just see another temple across the road here. If the fort walls speak of survival, then the Jain temples inside speak of wealth, devotion, and aspiration. The pillars and ceilings are a joy to behold. The artisans used a technique called three-dimensional carving in relief, and it's effectively meant to make a monolithic element look weightless. The dancers here are meant to represent their heavenly realms. The flowers are meant to represent the purity of the soul, and the central figures themselves are meant to represent the Tirthankaras. Wow, one's absolutely stunning. I think it took a wrong turn. I turned right when it came first into the fort, and it looks like the right turn should have been left. Top tip there, if you come here, turn left and come round the ramparts this way, because you'll come to this, you can see the level of detail in here. It's just absolutely wonderful. It looks like something out of a video game or a storybook or something. Little doors here, and then this masterpiece of work as well. So it's just this place is just leveled up for me a bit, but look at how stunning these pieces of work are. The stone carvings on the columns. I'm not sure what's up there, if there's a room up there or something. Perhaps you could look down onto the square and the temple below, but I'm not sure. It looks quite tight for that sort of thing. But you can see how old and ancient these are. I mean, this is what we're talking about here. This is the original stuff. That really smooth finish, where you can see people have touched it and it's been rubbed away and worn away. And this is absolutely stunning. The cupola details above, and these are the Hindu arches that we were talking about before as well. I don't know if you've seen the video from Agra from Delhi about Humayun's tomb, but there you get the lintel arches. Instead of a round arch, you get the two support columns and a lintel, and the lintel widens up. It's like a reverse pyramid effectively, but it's really beautiful. And the carvings are everywhere as well. Guys, actually was built 3 stories tall. It was built in 1453, just a casual 600 years ago. What this is actually a shikara. And a shikara isn't a dome in the way that we know them from mosques and from regular domes. It's actually a visual representation of a mountain. Which mountain? Well, Mount Meru. And Mount Meru is the mythical and cosmic mountain at the center of the Hindu and Jain universe. And that dome effectively sits over the inner part of the sanctum of most temples. And it's basically a journey from the lower, thicker part, which is us right here, right now, to enlightenment and passage to the beyond, which is the more tapered peak, if you like. And we need to get to the peak. We need to become enlightened, and that's what those domes represent. So they're more than just a piece of architecture, or more than just a piece of stone dumped on the top. They are effectively representations of what you're trying to achieve through your life. You see the sandstone here is really weathered away a lot. Sandstone sculptures. You can see why it's called the Golden Fort or the Golden City. Here you can see a really beautiful entrance door for one of the Jain temples, and this is where you can see that sandstone's just been eroded away over time. It's a form of visual scripture that is meant to transport the devotee from the harsh realities of the desert to the perfect spiritual world beyond. For 900 years, Jaisalmer Fort survived sieges, famine, and the Thar Desert. And in a cruel twist of irony, water might actually now bring it to the ground. Now, It's home to thousands, and it has the pressures of modern day plumbing on it, as well as modern day tourism, meaning that there have been some poor integrations of these systems. The water from all of this pressure is seeping into the ground below and destroying the earth that the fort is built upon. This is causing subsidence and cracking in the building at large, as well as devastation to the fort, ramparts and the bastions as well.
So I'm assuming they do a lot of construction works as well, especially during the off-season, because there seems to be quite a bit of maintenance and repair works going on, which is good to see. But this is a prime example. All the stones stacked. Something clearly going to be built in this space, so I'd love to know what.
Restoration works are underway to try and help combat this, and there have even been discussions about removing people from the fort entirely. I don't know if this will happen. It seems like an almost impossible task, but it does leave us with the question of what will happen to the Golden Fort going forward, whether that's from tourism, from regulated design, from regulated building. Something needs to be done to ensure the stability of this fort into the future. How would you go about tackling this problem? Let me know. Thanks for joining me here at Jaisalmer Fort. Next time we're going to go to the abandoned town just southwest of Jaisalmer Fort, known as Kuldara.
There are other possibilities at play here for the abandonment of this town, and another one that is believed is possibly...
We're going to discover them then. See you there.